I'm Jay with Bloodbath and Beyond, and I'm here with the legendary Kane Hodder. Now, you're here promoting Old 37. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your character in the film?
Well, I play one of two brothers that drives an ambulance. We have a scanner. We respond to 911 calls and help people. We don't help people. We respond and do horrible things to them before the real people get there.
Your co-star, Bill Moseley, you guys have a really cool dynamic because you guys are brothers in the movie.
Right.
So what was that like, working with Bill?
Well, you know, I've known him for years, so we've been friends, and I was very happy when he was cast as my brother. I think we work really well together. We feed off of each other's character, and we both like to ad-lib a lot of dialogue, which I think can be sometimes some of the best dialogue you do is something you didn't know you were going to say. And he works like that, and I work like that, and you know, I think we make a good we have a good chemistry on camera.
Definitely. Now, one of those ad libs that you're speaking of probably made for one of the greatest parts about Old 37. Do you
chicken dance?
Oh, it's the chicken dance.
And that was something Bill came up with. After we shot the scene, we shot it a little bit, and he said, wait a minute, what if I did this and I humiliated you and made you dance like a chicken in front of somebody else? It makes you sympathetic a little bit toward my character. It makes you hate his character even more, which I think is great. It was very effective both ways.
Definitely, yeah.
And I thought it was brilliant. And that's the kind of stuff he comes up with, and why I like working with him.
Now, talking about like your career as a stuntman, was there ever a time that you did a stunt that was terrifying to you?
You know, if you really want to say scary, the one that almost killed me, which is when I got burned doing a fire stunt. But other than that, being so terrifying, and I ended up specializing in fire stunts after that. Who would figure that, really?
Yeah, that's
if it almost
crazy.
Kills you, then you specialize in it. If you're terrified to do a stunt, you shouldn't be doing it.
Correct.
You need to be cautious and concerned, but if you're terrified, you need to let somebody else do that one. So I've never really been terrified. There's been times where I was like, man, if this goes wrong, this could be real bad.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, one comes to mind. I did a movie called Fair Game with Cindy Crawford and Billy Baldwin. There was 4 of us that had to jump out of a flying helicopter onto the top of a moving train, one at a time, at night. And we did it 5 times, and the last 2 times it was after it rained. So that was a little tricky, but again, I wouldn't say I was scared, just like, got to make sure I do this correctly.
Now, playing both Jason and Victor Crowley, do you have a favorite between the two?
Obviously, by the time I started playing Jason, that character was known around the world.
Yeah.
So I approached it as it being a complete honor to play that character, because this is something that now I've been watching for years, and now I'm playing that character. I got to do whatever I can to do it justice. So I took it very seriously and tried to add as much as I could to the character to make it interesting and scary. Now with Victor, I originated the character. Now Adam Green, of course, had the character in his mind and told me his ideas, and I would naturally want to make the character what he envisioned, but then add my own twist to it. So, and people don't probably pick up on it, but in my mind, in the first movie, Victor was not used to killing people.
Right.
So he's very twitchy. And I tried to make him very nervous and twitchy feeling. By the 3rd movie, I had toned that down because I thought he's used to killing now, so he's not as skittish about it.
Yeah, he's become a lot more comfortable with the situation.
Right, so I don't know if people picked up on that character trait, but that's what I tried to do.
Awesome, and it definitely comes off that way. Has Adam Green talked to you any more about another Hatchet?
Not at this point.
No?
You know, I would love it because I love playing the character, and I think he's a brilliant writer and director. To come up with something that was so amazing at the beginning, and to have the confidence to not tell his entire story in the first movie.
Right.
Because that is actually what he did. I think other directors pretend to do that when their movie becomes successful, and now they say, well, we're going to do a sequel, and they're like, oh boy, what do I do now?
What should we do? Yeah.
But Adam always had it planned, and maybe that was a little foolish on his part to think he would do 3 movies at the time before he did the first one, but he purposely held back storyline information throughout the 3 movies to reveal it slowly. Which is why Tony Todd was only in the first one briefly, and then a big part of the second one. So
that's very cool. Are there any other projects that are coming up that you're excited about?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. That Almost Mercy movie, Charlie's Farm, I shot in Australia with Bill Moseley.
Awesome.
And Tara Reid. That's, I think, out now, or maybe not in the U.S. yet, but and all kinds of good stuff coming up. I'm doing a motion capture for the killer in a video game about a summer camp. Who would guess what that might be? But doing that, and then I'm doing a movie in England next month.
Wow, busy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, appreciate the time.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.